Weird.
I know. And by the way, there was
Okay.
a little.
I think we're back on air now. Let me just double check here. We're having repeat issues from USA in Season 10. Season 11 is around, and the same issue is still around. But yeah, we're back on the air now. Thank you guys so much if you're rejoining this stream. We do apologize for the minor glitch there, and unfortunately I'm missing all of the driver names on the grid right now, so hopefully that will get resolved in the race when we go to the race session. But before we went off there, we were talking about how close this championship is in the golden class, and this track is very, very, difficult and very tricky. So, yeah, hopefully you're back with us. Hopefully you're able to watch now again, and hopefully we won't have any more issues.
Well, yeah, we got a very interesting grid here today with a very close championship fight, as we have been mentioning, between especially Red Bull and Mercedes and even Haas for the Constructors' Championship. And with QVR Packer not being able to make the race, that means that opens the door for Snipper Pig to possibly take home the championship. So I think this might be one of the closest championships we've seen in a while. Especially for this season, of course. And I think it might go down to Mexico because Snipper Pig is going to gain a little bit of time on QVR Packer if he finishes the Grand Prix in a strong position. So we'll have to see how that works out. While we are off air for a little bit, we did have a little incident going on track between third and fourth position at the moment, between Chargers, who is in third, and X-Breezy, or sorry, not Chargers, with Snipper Pig in first, and X-Breezy, who's in fourth. It looked like what happened is that Breezy tried to get out of the way, and then Snipper Pig, actually, what happened is that it looks like Breezy went out of the way a little bit too late, and Snipper Pig hit the back of Breezy. I was actually riding on board with the Racing Point driver at the time, so I didn't see exactly what happened. But that's my theory. So, little incident on track, but it looks like everything's back in order for those two drivers, and they can get back on. And QVR Parker has joined us, so the championships could still come down to this race.
Yes, but QVR Packer will not be able to qualify, so he's going to be starting right at the back of the grid. Now, you currently do have the names on the grid. In the sense, can you run us through who's currently leading?
Yep, so we have Snipper Pig in first position for Red Bull with a 129.841. Then we got Bats Plus in second, Chargers in third, Breezy in fourth, Gold Raider in fifth, Just Jose sixth, TCR Jones in P7, and then we got the two Alphas, Bam Bam in P8, the Yuppie in P9, Be Good in P10, and then You Having a Giggle, Ryan, same TJ, and then we got Nip Stevens, Drismic, and Prudent rounding off the grid for Williams.
Alright, so that is Snipper Pig right now, who is riding out on an out lap. We've got a minute, just over a minute to go in qualifying. This qualifying session ran by pretty quickly here, but we've got a long race ahead of us. 28 laps we're doing here today for a 50% race. It's going to be a 5.5 kilometer for a lap here, or 3.4 miles. So it's a pretty decent track length, but most of all, it's a very tricky track, especially as Broomhandle mentioned there in sectors 2 and 3. All of those really tricky S sections, especially in that second sector right towards the end of it, is going to be where we need to watch. But here comes Snipper Pig. He's going to be rounding himself up here, opening up the DRS, and now you climb up the run up the hill into turn 1. He's taking a really wide entrance into turn 1. He slams on the brakes, locks up the inside wheel there, but he's okay. Oh, it looks like an Alfa Romeo has crashed in front of him, and Yuppie is out. So Snipper Pig now making it through the S's in sector 1. We're allowing the regular corner cutting rules here tonight, so they're not gonna get penalties or not gonna get invalidations, but we are asking the drivers to keep one wheel on the red and white stuff. Otherwise, they need to abort their lap, as Snipper Pig does pretty well through Sector 1. And I did not see a purple time light up, but there was also a yellow flag in that sector at the same time for the Alfa Romeo. And there's also now a McLaren that's off. So that's interesting.
I think.
Couple of drivers having some issues here in the last minutes of qualifying. Qualifying is now over, and now whatever time they put in, this is going to be it for them. So Snipper Pig is pushing, and he's putting in whatever he can here. He's already on pole position. He needs to defend off his time, but he's only 0.003 of a second away from Bats Plus, so that could be very, very close. Bats Plus is also out there on the hot lap. Let's see how he's doing as he's now coming into that very, very tricky turn 16 and 17, and now the triple right-hander of 18, and now coming
Breezy
down.
Just went first.
Ooh,
Breezy just
Breezy.
went first with a 129.5.
And Slipper Pig does improve, but only to a 129.6, and it looks like his teammate is going to be in third with a 129.7. Bats Plus has aborted into the pits. Everyone else has pretty much finished their lap, so it looks like Breezy, ex-Breezy, has snatched away pole position here in the USA right at the dying seconds of qualifying.
Wow, I was not expecting that at all. Breezy was about P4. I didn't see his lap quite a bit, but he was, I mean, that's a very solid lap from Breezy. He's back on pole for TCR. And yeah, very consistent drive so far for Breezy. He starts on pole for the USA Grand Prix. Snipper Pig did improve, but he did not go pole, but he does start on the front row of the grid. And if you guys can remember from the silver class race, I'm actually talking about my own start, to be honest. It's kind of weird to talk about that, but yeah, I was first and Kruner was second, and Kruner got a better start than me, so the inside, where Snipper Pig is, might prove to be a better point in the race, but also, if you're in my case, I went round the outside and got a better exit. So that's exactly what Breezy's going to have to do if he keeps that lead of the Grand Prix. But what a qualifying that was. Ex-Breezy on pole by the two Red Bulls in second and third.
So the fight for the Constructors' Championship, the fight for the Drivers' Championship, that's all still alive here in the Golden Class. I do apologize again for the fact that we cannot see the drivers' names on the grid right now, but hopefully when we join into the race session, that should fix itself, and then we'll be able to see everybody's names. But yeah, what an interesting qualifying there. We're now heading into the race here. Oh no, I still cannot see the names of the drivers. That could be a little bit of an issue.
You may need to leave the session and come back quickly before the race officially begins.
Okay, you did say that you sent me another invite there?
Yep, I should have. If you need one, just let me know.
Here, I'm gonna quit quickly here while we're gonna be on our formation lap. Hopefully I'll be able to join back in time. I do apologize again, guys. I'm doing everything we can here to fix that issue that we had with the drivers' names not showing up. Let's see if we can make that happen now. I'm gonna rejoin back into the lobby. And everybody that's joining up. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, no problem. I was just going to quickly mention, while you're joining into the session, I did want to mention Stevens in the Mercedes starting 12th. He could possibly do the exact same thing that he did with Silver Class and go for that. I mean, he won from 13th. He's one position higher, so watch out for Steven. He could be a really big challenger in today's race, but I think it's going to be a very interesting Grand Prix going forward.
Okay, so I've managed to rejoin back. Are we on the formation lap just yet, or we have not started yet?
We actually have not started yet.
Nice.
We're 13th. Yeah, so you pretty much joined straight into this, and you're basically haven't missed anything. So, yeah, we have the formation lap, and then we should be ready to go.
Alright, guys, get ready for round 11 of season 11 of TCR Trinity Competitive Racing. We've got the names of the drivers back on the board here, so that is going to make my life a little bit easier here tonight. I'll be able to tell you who's in which position and what they're doing, and also who's starting where. So, X-Breezy in pole position there, Snipper Pig in second, Chargers in third, the two Red Bulls in second and third. They're going to be definitely looking for a good performance here tonight. Bats Plus in fourth position, Golden Raider in fifth, Just Jose starting sixth, Jones with a very good qualifying starting seventh, Bam Bam 8th, Yuppie in 9th, we have Be Good in 10th, Ryan in 11th, Snipper Pig, Steven, Nip Steven, as you mentioned, as you can see him on the board as STXO, in 12th position. He's in a pretty good position, comparing to where he started last night, as you mentioned there. So we're going to keep an eye on him as well. We've also got him starting on the medium tires, as well as Ryan starting on mediums, and Drizmic in 14th, also starting in medium tires. You have a giggle in 13th place. We have Same TG in 15th. Prudent in 16th, and QVR Packet did join us in qualifying, was not able to qualify, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid, but he is still the Drivers' Championship leader right now by 36 points, but there are still 52 points up for grabs here tonight. Snipper Pig is currently in second place in the Drivers' Championship, and he needs a good performance tonight to try and close up that gap. So we're getting ready for possibly something special, as well as a lot of these drivers are also from the U.S., so they're going to be, pushing here tonight to try and win their home Grand Prix. Broomhandle, you got a podium here last night. How did that feel?
Oh, it felt great, of course. Like you mentioned with our racers here today, it's a lot of people's home Grand Prix, including myself. And to be on the podium at home Grand Prix, especially in a league like this, TCR, I was very happy with that. So really just, oh my goodness, something happened in the formation lap. I think that was Gold Raider and Bats Plus having a little incident there. And it looks like they get back on track. But yeah, I had a great race, really did. And all I'm hoping for now is that I get a good result in the Drivers and Constructors Championship, and really hoping for the same sort of result with our drivers here today at Golden Class. Maybe they'll be able to take home a home Grand Prix podium or even a race victory. But it looks like we're ready to go here at TCR. Do you want to do the 5 red lights?
Sure thing. Let's get ready, guys. Get your predictions into the comments. If you guys are watching, thank you so much for rejoining us after we had a little bit of a disconnection, but we're all good to go. We're ready for the U.S. Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas in Austin, Texas for round 11 of Gold Class here in Trinity Competitive Racing, with Breezy starting on pole, Snipper Pig in second, Chargers in third, and QVR Packer, the championship leader, all the way in 17th place at the back of the grid. So this is definitely going to be an exciting Grand Prix. We're being held at the lights. I really hope we don't have to restart this session again.
This is almost an exact repeat of what happened at USA just one season ago. It must be, I have no idea how this is happening. Maybe the USA Grand Prix has a glitch.
It might just be, I'm not really sure, but seriously, this is exact replica of Season 10. Myself and yourself, we were in the booth for the commentary exactly for that race as well, so I'm not sure if it's us, I'm not sure if it's the Grand Prix, if it's the game, if it's the PSN network tonight, but all things lead to the same spot, which is us watching 20 cars or 17 cars lined up on the grid, not going anywhere. I am going to check the Discord group. Oh, we are migrating hosts. Let's take a look here.
I've got an error to the session. Not sure what's going on. Now I'm getting all the errors. So I have unfortunately left the session.
I'm still watching a bunch of cars lined up on the grid here. I'm just checking what is going on. I think they're waiting for... Oh, we've got 3, 4, 5 lights coming on now. And we go racing in the US, and I've got no graphics on the screen. I am not sure what is going on here. I won't be able to switch drivers or watch anyone either. This is very, very, very weird. I am not sure what to do now.
I got a feeling we're going to restart.
Yes, we're going to have to. Here, I'm just going to let them know here. Yeah, I cannot do anything. There's more people leaving the lobby as well, so I think we might have to do a retirement here. Or, I mean, a restart here, because we're just watching a bunch of fans and a DHL sign, so...
You know,
all the viewers... Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I actually was commentating on a race earlier today, and I got that exact same thing. It was just, what was it? It was just people waving in the grandstands. I have no idea what's going on with the camera angles for around here.
Well, we got stuck on the first driver with one camera right at the start finish, straight, and the lights went on, but all of my graphics disappeared. I couldn't switch anything, and we're still stuck in that, watching a bunch of fans just waving hands around. I think once some of the drivers make it around, we might see some cars again, but a lot of the drivers have led the session. It looks like everyone is now leaving the session. So it looks like we are bound here for a restart. I am so sorry, guys, if you're watching. There's unfortunately not much we can do here. And I'm trying to leave this session, and it won't.
I think is that the first restart we've had to do all season in Golden Class.
I think it might be. We did not have as many restarts as on the previous game, that is for sure. And also in the first season we did on F1 2020, we did have quite a few of them. But Golden class has been pretty clean. Platinum class has been pretty clean. I know in Silver we had a couple of them. But yeah, unfortunately that is the case here tonight. But we are back in the new lobby. I am going to... Oh, there's Broom. Okay, he's been invited already. I was just going to say I'm about to invite Broom. But this gives us another chance, I guess, to go over some facts about USA. I know it's a race that was back on the schedule of real-life Formula One. What was it, back in the 80s or 70s? And then it was taken off for a while, and then it came back. Broom, I know that you know a lot about F1 history. Do you know a little bit more about that?
Oh, I mean, like, this track, I think its first ever Grand Prix was in 2012. I don't know, actually, if it hosted a race back in the 80s. I don't remember exactly. But what I can tell you is that the USA Grand Prix has been hosted many times in Formula One Grand Prix history, along many different tracks, such as the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, which, of course, the Indy 500 is just coming up this weekend, actually, so that'll be fun to see. But F1 has hosted races back there in Indy 500, as well as other tracks like Watkins Glen, very famous track as well, a few others as well. But yeah, of course, the first race back here in 2012 with Lewis Hamilton winning his final race for McLaren back in that race, if I'm not mistaken. And then, if I remember my history correct, in that same race, Roman Grosjean got second place with him wearing that cowboy hat, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, the USA Grand Prix always hosted a lot of fun. You know, I mean, like, if we go back to Indianapolis Motor Speedway, who can forget the 2005 race with that crazy thing that happened with the tires? I think only 6 cars entered, with the rest all running Michelin tires, and those were deemed to be unsafe to use, and so all drivers were into the pit lane, and I think a lot of fans put a thumbs down, if I'm not mistaken, to that race. And then, of course, one of my favorite Grand Prix that a lot of people actually forget about is when Kimi Räikkönen won here in 2018. His final victory to date, if I'm not mistaken. And that was for Ferrari, and I was jumping up and down because I'm a huge Kimi Räikkönen fan. But yeah, Blinn, did you watch that race in 2018?
I definitely did. Yeah, that was a pretty crazy one. I was also watching that crazy tire kerfuffle in replay, but when I was much, much younger, and I couldn't believe what I was seeing. So, yeah, I mean, the USA Grand Prix always brings a lot of interesting things here, but this Austin, Texas track, it's a crazy one. I mean, you go up, down, sideways, in all kinds of different directions. This one was designed quite recently, as you mentioned, in 2012. How do you get around this one, and like, what is most important around here?
Well, I think a big thing for around here is the elevation change throughout the track. That is very interesting. You got uphill to turn 1. That's one of the highest turn 1s I've ever seen in racing. And then you go kind of downhill, and you go into the sweeping S's, which are so hard to get right because you have the curbs so close together. It's kind of narrow, but it makes it really fun. And yeah, it kind of goes like little bumps up into sector 1 and 2, and then you go super far down the track to like the corner of the track, and then you go back up the hill in a diagonal, and then you go into the really, really interesting part of the track, which I like, which is the sweeping back and forth S's. And it's really weird because you go up and then you go down, up and then down. It's a really interesting layout there. And then you have a lot of traction zones as well. And the biggest one actually is at turn 20, the final corner, if I'm not. And that's a very difficult corner to get right. But I think the biggest thing is elevation change for around here. And then, of course, the tire strategy as well is a huge thing for around here. In previous races, we have seen that the two-stop is the better option. I know this from experience that you do not go for the hard tires. I went for the hard tires. I'm not sure why in the silver class race last night. But what I can tell you is that you go for the softs to medium strategy. That's probably the best in my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely. And I actually went for the soft and medium, but I only went for a one-stop strategy. I started on the mediums in P12, and honestly, I was kind of regretting that. I think starting on the soft, going to the medium in the middle, and then doing another soft at the end would probably be the best strategy around here, because my mediums were dead at the end of the first stint. My softs were screaming at me at the end of the race, and I only made up like 2 positions. I did end up in 9th because of a crash in front of me, but, you know, it was still a very, very difficult strategy. Now, coming back to this Golden Class race tonight, there are a lot of drivers starting on a soft tire, and from there, they really only have a couple of options. They can do the two-stop as we were talking about, you know, using softs and mediums, but do you think we might see a couple of drivers trying out that hard tire strategy?
Oh, I'm definitely sure. I mean, like, what happened to me in silver class is not a bad thing. It's just possibly, I mean, for me, it just didn't really work out. I think it's possible the drivers can go for that, because here's the thing. The reason why I went for the hard compound strategy in silver class was because I wanted to pit, and then the reason why the two-stop, the problem with the two-stop is that you're going to be stuck in traffic quite a bit and might waste your tire wear, might waste your pace. The reason why I went for hards is because I knew that everyone that was pitting around me would pit onto the medium compound tires like a little bit later on. And so the problem was that they would have a lot less tire wear at the end of the Grand Prix. I would have that hard magic strategy where those hards become like ultimate softs at a stage in the race towards the end of their tire life. So that's kind of why I went for that. And I think a lot of drivers could go for the same strategy, soft to hard. But from my experience, I don't think it's the best strategy. And another thing to possibly take a look at is the safety car. The safety car could come out at any moment. You never know as well. There could be rain on the way. It's highly unlikely. I didn't see any rain coming into the race. But what I can tell you is that the safety car could come out. That could completely change the strategy. And because of this, the safety car possibly coming out, the soft, medium, soft, or the two-stop strategy might be the better option at this point. But yeah, there's mainly 3 different tire strategies that you could go for, and it's really just all up to the driver's performance on track.
As we're watching everybody warming their tires up, let's remind ourselves again of the grid here tonight. After qualifying, it's Eggs Breezy on pole position. Snipper Piggin charges the 2 Red Bulls up in 2nd and 3rd. Bats Plus in 4th in his Mercedes. We have the Haas of Gold Raider in 5th, the McLaren of Just Jose in 6th, Jones in the Ferrari in 7th, the 2 Alfa Romeos of Bam Bam and Yuppie in 8th and 9th place, and then we have 2 Renaults side by side of Be Good and Ryan. Nip Stevens starting in the Mercedes as a reserve in P12, could bring in some decent points. I'm quite excited to see what he can do after he won the silver class race last night from P13. And then in P13, we have You Having a Giggle in another McLaren, Drismic in his Racing Point in 14th place, Sam TJ in the AlphaTauri in 15th, then we have Prudent in the Williams in 16th place, and then in the other Haas, QVR Packer, who's currently leading the Drivers' Championship, who was not able to qualify for this race. He's going to be starting right at the back of the grid there in 17th place on a soft tire. Now, I do want to mention something. Drismic did switch his tires for the start of this race. Now, he is under the top 10, so technically you can do that, but usually I know when we do restarts, we ask the drivers to keep to the same tires that they would be starting on. So That is quite interesting there. So that only leaves Ryan and Nip Steven on the mediums. Everyone else on the soft tires. Let's get ready for the start this time. Hopefully we won't have any more holdups.
Yeah, let's get ready to start the USA Grand Prix. Did you want me to do the 5 red lights, or do you want to do them?
We'll just go ahead with it now because they're coming on. 4, 5 lights. And we're watching from on board with Chargers as the race starts. Ooh, Pruden gets a jump start. Drive-through penalty. Chargers does not get a good start. Bats Plus does.
Look at Bats
and
Plus.
He's already attacking on X Breezy into turn 1 around the outside. There's a bit of touching. There's a bit of contact. I see some front wings flying around. I saw Jones and Bam Bam and Just Jose getting tangled up. Virtual safety car is out. Virtual safety car on the first lap after just a couple of corners, really. So there must have been some sort of incident. Yeah, Be Good is right at the back there. QVR Packer has managed to make up 5 positions. He's up into P12 already. And Steven is up into 8th place. Nip Steven. That is crazy positions. Making up there right on the first lap, but virtual safety car has come out. There was quite a bit of contact. There was some front wings flying around. We're gonna take a look and see who's missing some front wings, and we're gonna figure out who's gonna be pitting possibly very, very early in this race. But we're still under VSC as there's some battling on the back straight there between Bats Plus and Sniffer Pig. That is quite crazy.
Yeah, what a start from Bats Plus there. As we did mention there, he got up into P2, gained 2 positions on the Red Bulls. That was really crucial for him, and I was shocked. I apologize for yelling there for a second, because I was shocked because he went from P4 almost to challenging for the first position there. VSC is over there. Snipper Pig all over the back of that Mercedes just ahead. And someone else I quickly wanted to mention is Bam Bam. He's gained 3 positions and already up to 5th place. Let's see how that works out for the Alfa Romeo driver. We know how quick he is. Silver class champion in season 11. But X Breezy leads us away as he starts the fastest lap of the race and the second lap of the race. A little glitch going on with the standings. That's always happening in the leagues, you know, all that sort of thing. It always changes to lap 3 on lap 2. The drivers always switch positions on the leaderboard there. But we'll all get it'll all get organized back into their normal positions in just a little bit. But what I can tell you is that X Breezy got a really good start, and he's leaning away quite comfortably from Bats Plus in P2, and those 2 Red Bulls just behind. But moving down further down the grid, it looks like everything's kind of calmed down, but there was some contact towards the back of the grid between, you mentioned all those wings flying all over the place. So kind of interesting how that all worked out. And by the way, also Steven did not get the best of starts off of that restart there. I think he may have lost 2 positions there.
And we already had 6 different drivers coming in on lap 2 for a change of front wing. Those would be Prudent, Golderator, Yuppie, You Have the Giggle, Drizmic, and I think there was somebody else as well, or maybe not. That might be it. So that's 5 drivers. Golderator, Yuppie, You Have the Giggle, Same TJ, and Drizmic. So those guys definitely had some damage on their front wings. They needed an early pit stop. Most of them went on the soft tire, but Golderator and Same Teacher decided to go on the medium tire, which I would have expected for more of them, because this is actually a good way for them to play a different strategy right now. So those mediums could last them for about, I don't know, 15 laps or so, and then they can fit on the soft and maybe go to the end. We also don't know what's going to happen. We already had a VSC on lap 1 after a couple of corners. We might have a full safety car at any point in this race, but for now, X Breezy still leading the race with Bats Plus making up positions right at the start, jumping into 2nd place, Snipper Pig in 3rd, Chargers in 4th, Just Jose in 5th, Bam Bam in 6th, and DRS has been enabled on this lap, so we might see those gaps starting to close up very, very soon. Just Jose has just set a purple first sector, so he's starting to find some pace around this track. It's going to be a really exciting one. I can feel it coming.
Jose's got a pretty good line through some of these corners here. I think that purple sector is pretty real there, because he got past Bam Bam, and he's now all over the back of that train for P1. This is looking really interesting going into this lap. And something to quickly mention as well, this probably won't happen just due to the tires being pretty fresh, but what I realized in the silver class is around lap 3 or lap 4, the tires dropped off just instantly. Now, it might not be the same for lap comparison, but there could be just one lap where the tires drop so much. They lose so much pace. And so this could be, we could see maybe a little incident on track with drivers kind of just coming back from that little disadvantage. It could be different in Golden Class, but you never know. Just something to look forward to for perspective of watching. I'm sure the drivers are probably not looking forward to it. But anyway, I want to ride on board with Snipper Pig. Let's look at him because he's all over the back of Bats Plus. Bats Plus, though, is now gaining a little bit of time on X Breezy. So we're seeing a massive battle for P1 in the Grand Prix. And as you said, this is looking to be one race to remember in Golden Class.
And Jones and Bam Bam, they're switching positions pretty quickly. Jones made up the position, but then Bam Bam went for the switchback into turn 1 and managed to get the position back up once again. They are now coming into turn 11, which is going to bring them out into that back straight with the DRS. Golden Raider has retired from the race in the pits.
Oh, no!
He's decided to retire, so he is not happy with that starting of his. And same TJ has retired as well. But here comes Snipper Pig on Bats Plus. Bats Plus to the inside line. X Breezy is right in front of them as well. Bats Plus is going, or Snipper Pig is going to go around the outside there. They make a little bit of a wheel bang, but they're still side by side coming into turn 12 or turn 13, and they're still going to be side by side going into the next little section. And now Snipper Pig's going to dive down the inside of Bats Plus into the next left-hander as they're now coming down into the triple right-hander of turn 18 there. This is very, very close up in the leading positions. On just lap 4 right now of 28, still a very long way to go, but these guys are not giving each other even an inch. Now Just Jose is closing up to the lead pack as well. He's right on the back of Chargers.
And Jones is looking to make him an overtake on Bam Bam. Sorry to cut you off of that battle for first place, but here goes Jones around the outside on the Alfa Romeo. Ferrari v Alfa Romeo. He's going to go for the switchback maneuver. Yes, he does. And the Ferrari just about gets ahead. And Jones is still side by side with Bam Bam, though. So Bam Bam does come back, and he does re-overtake him. Is Jones going to try and move into the S's? Oh, it's so close. Is he going to try and make a move on Bam Bam? Bam Bam defends, but there's still space, so Jones is going to go side by side with the Alfa Romeo coming down into the S section now. Jones side by side with the Alfa, and I think he just about gets ahead. What about Steven, though? Is he going to try and make a move? Yes, he does. He goes side by side with the Alfa Romeo coming down into turn 11 now, and it looks like Bam Bam loses 2 positions. Steven on the medium compound tires moves up into P7, and now he's actually all on the back of Jones. But further up the field, here comes Snipper Pig on Bats Plus for second place at the moment. Is he going to try around the outside? And Bats, a little bit of contact there between both drivers. Is Chargers going to try something? Not quite yet, so the two are still going side by side as we come down into turn 13, 14, and 15. And is Snipper Pig just about going to get ahead? It looks like Bats Plus is going to do the same overtake that Snipper Pig tried to do, and Bats just about gets ahead, so the positions at the top do not change.
Wow, lots of action going on all over the track right now. We're going to try and keep up with this, but with this DRS, with that back straight, and with all the, resources available to these drivers tonight, they are doing an incredible job. But look at this lead pack of 5 cars. Here comes Snipper Pig on Bats Plus. That is going to be a pretty easy overtake into turn 1 there. And is he going to go for the... Yeah, Bats Plus was thinking about going for the switchback, but not making it stick just yet. They are so close at the front right now. X Breezy, though, has managed to pull out of the DRS zone of Snipper Pig. So now Snipper Pig is going to have to do a little bit of work to try and close back up to them. And then they have a gap from from Just Jose to Steven, about 6 seconds. So that is quite a good gap that they've been pulling, or they pulled out in 6 laps. That's about a second a lap on the rest of the group. So very, very impressive scenes here right at the opening stages of this Grand Prix. And here comes Bats Plus now with the DRS on the back of Snipper Pig. Not going to be close enough, but Chargers on Bats Plus. He's going to go around the inside or into the inside of the next corner. And under braking, though, it looks like Bats Plus managed to hold on to his position for now. Just so there was contact, and that's Bats Plus missing an end plate.
Bats Plus, I was right on board Chargers. Bats Plus just, I think he locked up and went into the back of Snipper Pig. Not sure if Snipper Pig braked a little earlier there, but the big development in this race is that Bats Plus does have damage, and it looks like he's got pretty much really bad damage, because here comes Chargers all over the back of that Mercedes, and Bats is probably going to pit. Yes, he is going to pit, so that might turn into a little steward incident the stewards are going to have to look into at the end of the race, but interesting to see how that all played out.
So that means Breezy still in first, Snipper Pig now in second, with Chargers his teammate in third place, and Just Jose gains a position up into fifth. It's also Steven moving up into, Just Jose in fourth, Steven up into fifth, Jones up into sixth. Bats Plus is going to be coming out around 11th place. So that is going to hurt his race a little bit. He's going on the medium tires. Again, he can possibly still make this work. You never know what's going to happen here. We're only on lap 7, 21 more laps to go. But this opens up the door for Just Jose to possibly put some pressure now on Chargers and try to battle for another podium. Just Jose is one of our 6 winners so far in Season 11, 6 different Grand Prix winners, and he is actually the most recent different one. He joined us in, where was I think it was in Great Britain or Russia? It was Russia. Yes, it was in Russia. He was the winner there, so I'm really excited to see if he can get on the podium once again. Now a little bit further down, we've got QVR Packer, who's already up into 7th place. He started down in 17th, and after 7 laps, he's made up 10 positions. He's now putting some serious pressure on Jones and Nip Steven in front of him. So he's going to have to work for a couple more positions, but he'll be able to hopefully make up those pretty quickly. And, wow, I mean, where do you think he might be able to recover to tonight?
Well, I mean, you can see the pace right now. He is from the back of the grid all the way up to 7th place. That is remarkable from where he started. Now, we all know QVR Packer, a very quick driver in TCR. He's leading the World Championship, is possibly going to win the World Championship, most likely win the World Championship. And, yeah, oh, hold on a second. Okay, I thought TCR Jones may have spun there, but it looks like he's all good. Yeah, QVR Packer, where do I think he's going to finish? It's really difficult because I know how quick he can be. So, I know how quick he can be, but it's kind of difficult to make an overtake for around here. But you never know what can happen. I think he's going to be on the podium. I think for sure he's going to be on the podium. To be honest, I wouldn't be surprised if he went from the back of the grid to first. I'm going bold on this one. But actually, speaking of first, we got a major battle for first. Snipper Pig all over the back of Breezy, and we got Just Jose all over the back of Chargers right now. So these 4 are battling out for first place. And something else I quickly wanted to mention was Bats Plus had to pit, but it's not the end of the world, as, to be honest, he's going to go for the 2-stop anyway, and so it kind of just, he had to pit a little bit sooner. So, I don't know, that he could still come away with a really decent result here today. Anyway, though, lap 8 out of 28. We have 20 laps remaining of the Grand Prix. Breezy still leads us away from the 2 Red Bulls in second and third, and Just Jose in P4. Another driver I quickly want to mention, and Blinn, this is another one. I'm going to pass it back to you, because you said, where's QVR Packer going to win? Going to finish. I'm going to pass it back to you and say, where's Nip Stevens going to finish, as he is P5?
Ooh, you know, and actually those 2 drivers are sort of related in this particular Grand Prix right now, because if QVR Packer can clear Jones and Steven, he's going to be right up there, you know, a couple of seconds behind, about 6 seconds behind the lead pack, but he's going to be able to match their strategy and not have to re-overtake any other cars. So that might play to his strategy quite a bit. He's also on a completely different tire. Steven is on a medium, QVR Packer is on a soft, and they still got TCR Jones in the middle of them, who's putting in some really good pace here tonight. So it's not going to be easy for QVR Packer to get through, but I think Steven, if he can hold that position from Jones and from QVR Packer, he might be able to challenge for the podium positions, as Just Jose goes for a move on Chargers. Didn't quite work out on that one, but that was a very bold move, and it almost worked for him. So he almost got himself onto the podium there. But yeah, back to your question, I think Steven and QVR Packer, they are sort of tied together in this particular Grand Prix. They need each other to not overtake each other.
Yeah, exactly. It's a very interesting situation as we have Breezy, Chargers, and Just Jose coming into the pit lane. Snipper Pig stays out. Oh, there's contact. Just Jose and Chargers has major contact, and it looks like Just Jose comes out worse. He went into the back of the Red Bull. I think he didn't predict that they were going to break a lot sooner because that was three drivers going in the pit lane, so he's going to lose about a second here. That's going to drop him a little bit further down, I want to say, but Snipper Pig now is in first place with Steven up in second place. That's interesting, and a very big development in this race. And you got to remember, Steven on the totally different strategy. Mediums at the moment. He's going for the definite one stop here. Probably the exact same thing that he did with Silver Class. Medium to soft. And that could be the winning strategy here today. So two drivers, including QVR Packer, to look forward to in this Grand Prix. But yeah, pretty big developments going into the race with some interesting things going on.
Yeah, so that was a total of 5 drivers who pitted there. Bam Bam, QVR Packer, Just Jose, Eggs Breezy, and Chargers. All of them going onto the medium tires. All of them pretty much matching each other on strategy. So that puts Snipper Pig in front. Steven is now in second place with Jones in third. Ryan and Be Good in fourth and fifth. They have not pitted yet at all. Now Bats Plus, that promoted him into 8th place. He's 3.8 seconds behind Chargers. Ooh, X Breezy and Be Good there switching positions. So that is X Breezy now up back into 5th place. So we're going to see a lot of overtaking right now because a lot of these guys are going to have brand new tires. They're going to be trying to recover some positions here very quickly. And yeah, get ready for a lot of action. So other than that, though, I mean, again, there's such a huge mix of strategies right now that I'm not exactly sure how everything is going to end up, as now Snipper Pig goes into the pits. He's going on to medium tires as well. We've got a battle here between Ryan and X Breezy. X Breezy gets in front of Ryan. Now Ryan has Chargers behind him with DRS open as well, but no, he's going to go back on X Breezy down into turn 1. Now they have Snipper Pig in front of them both as well, and now X Breezy is going to go for a move on Snipper Pig possibly into the S's in the first sector. What a turn of events here so quickly. We thought we were seeing one battle, but we then saw another completely different battle with Snipper Pig, who just came out of the pits there. Wow, this is, again, turning out to be a very, very exciting Grand Prix with everything still to fight for in this golden class in Season 11. This is super important. This is crucial racing right now for especially Snipper Pig, QVR Packer, possibly even Bats Plus. He can still possibly get to the top of this championship. You never know what could still happen here. There's going to be some battling on the back straight here. Here comes Chargers on X Breezy. X Breezy's thinking of a move on Snipper Pig. Down into turn 12. Oh, this is super dangerous. They almost all made contact, but X Breezy managed to keep his position. Snipper Pig still in third place, and Chargers there had to back off to avoid a big incident.
Yeah, major things going on track right now. Major battling going on track. Snipper Pig, P3 now. Of course, that will be the race lead. He has jumped. He's done the overcut strategy on X Breezy. The reason why I think that's worked out is because X Breezy was held up by those two Renaults. So I think he probably would have been in the race lead. It's now up to X Breezy to make the overtake and retake the race lead. So this is getting really, really interesting, and as you said, a little dangerous too, as we're seeing a lot of danger coming in, but that is racing. You see danger all the time because, of course, you never know what can happen. You're so close to the car when it comes to racing. You are just barely contact. There's barely even contact when it comes to racing wheel to wheel, and that's what's so interesting about Formula One and racing in general. Chargers right behind Breezy. This is going to get interesting between these three. And Bats Plus a little bit further back. I think he's got Just Jose, and QVR Packer is actually all the back of Just Jose. So QVR Packer trying to make another move up the table. But I think the biggest development in this race is Breezy trying to make a move on Snipper Pig. He's using a lot of ERS, but Snipper Pig, is actually not using any ERS. He's got about 60% ERS, where Breezy has 5% ERS. That is a major difference between both drivers, and that could put Snipperpig in the race victory position.
And we're not even halfway through the race, and this is the type of battling that we're seeing here. It's been non-stop from the start of the race, and it's still going on here. For everybody that's watching, thank you guys so much for your support of TCR, Trinity Competitive Racing. Make sure you check out all the links in our description of the video as well for our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec. You can see their signs on screen right now as well around this Grand Prix and in this game. You know, their equipment is amazing, and if you use the link in the description, you'll be supporting the league in doing so as well. Other than that, check out the TCR shop where you can purchase some TCR stickers. We're going to be releasing some more merchandise later on, maybe in the next season. But for now, check out those stickers and you can help support our league as well. But what an amazing race we're watching here tonight. You know, I'm just super impressed with how clean these guys are racing side by side. We've seen a lot of wheel-to-wheel action so far tonight around a very tricky track. But these guys are doing a great job. And Snipperpig right now in second place. He pitted a lap ago onto his medium tires. He's technically in the net lead of this race, as Steven, who started in 12th position and currently is sitting in P1, has not pitted from his medium tires just yet. But he's in a great position as Bats Plus is now lining up a move on Ryan to get P5. And that is move done before they make it into the left-hander of turn 12. And yep, that is Bats Plus into P5. X Breezy about 4/5 of a second behind Snipperpig. So before the pit stops, Snipperpig had a little bit of a lead on everybody else. But after the pit stops, it seems things got a little bit neutralized and brought back together again. So I'm excited to see what we're gonna see for the rest of this race.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, this is getting really, really interesting. There's a lot of factors to bring into this Grand Prix, as there's so many different things to talk about right now. I think the biggest thing that we have going on is Breezy versus Snipperpig. Can he make that overtake? And he's gonna make it soon, because if Snipperpig starts gaining a lot of time on Breezy, that could be the end of the race. You never know what can happen. And the difficult thing right now is that you got Breezy, who's on 19% ERS, and Snipperpig, who's on 73% ERS. So that's a pretty big difference. And I think the reason why this is the case, of course, is because Breezy's trying to stay within that gap to Snipperpig, and using ERS to try and stay close to that Red Bull, where Snipperpig is really just coasting here and basically just defending. That's all he really needs to do. So the one who's overtaking is the one that has the most stress. That is always the case when it comes to racing, because you know you got to pick your line here. I mean, of course, the defender is a big point in racing as well, but the hardest part, in my opinion, is the overtaker. That is one of the most difficult points in racing. Something else to talk about as well is Steven. 8.1. It's gonna move back and forth, but Steven, 8 seconds ahead. He will probably pit around the 18 lap, maybe the 19 lap mark. It depends on how his tire. Well, actually, his tires are completely new, so because of the restart that we did have. So I assume he'll probably pit around lap 16, 17, somewhere around there. For the soft compound tires. And what's interesting is that Steven could be battling away with the podium, so we could see Steven coming in the fight, because he's probably going to pit for the softs, and that will be pretty soon. And if he comes out ahead of his teammate or right behind his teammate, his teammate lets him through, of course, Steven can be in some clear air to chase down those top three and possibly get a not just a podium, but even the race win here today. So we'll have to see how this works out. In the Golden class. Super exciting action, really, all races. We do have a yellow flag in Sector 2, I believe, or the end of Sector 2 and the beginning of Sector 3.
I think that is you having a giggle, and this McLaren had a little bit of a spin there, but his teammate, Just Jose, overtook Ryan for P6, so he is now only a second behind Bats Plus, and he still has a shot at a podium here today. Here comes QVR Packer overtaking Ryan for P7 as they're coming into turn 11. Ooh, it's going to be tight there. Ryan defends the inside line, managing to keep the position for now, but QVR Packer does not have the DRS. Ryan managed to position this car quite well to get the DRS, but QVR Packer is going to attack anyways with his overtake button. Down to 10% right now, down into turn 13. Let's see how this is going to end up there. And we have a yellow for Drizvik.
Breezy and Snipper Pig just made contact. They were going side by side. Sorry to interrupt you there, Blinn, but the Breezy overtook Snipper Pig, but then he moved down to position. Snipper Pig re-overtook him. There was a little contact, no wing damage to either driver. But sorry to take that off of what you were saying there. Continue on.
Oh, no worries at all. That is important stuff there that you were bringing up, and now Breezy is still back to that 0.5 of a second behind Snipper Pig. So this battle is just absolutely brilliant. But here comes Just Jose on on Bats Plus, and Just Jose made that one look really, really easy, and he is up into, oh no, they're still going to be side by side. It looks like Bats Plus got a better exit out of turn 1, and he's back up into P5. So it looked very easy for a moment there, but then it turned out to be quite difficult after all. And Just Jose still going to have to fight for that position. But these battles all over the place, especially in the midfield, all the way from about P10 and up. We've seen all battles just throughout the whole race right now. I'm watching closely as Breezy is going to be very close right now on the back straight with the DRS open on Snipper Pig. He's going to be able to make anything happen here. Let's jump on board with him. He's going to try the outside line, maybe to a switchback to the inside, but Snipper Pig positions the car very, very well there, and Breezy cannot do anything for now.
And meanwhile, Just Jose did get past Bats Plus into the DRS, so good move by the McLaren driver. He's back up there. Ryan and TCR Jones going side by side as well. Lots of battling going on track. TCR Jones gets ahead. Ryan on 15 leveled medium tires. That's why he's struggling quite a bit. Racing point of Drizvik going, I think he did retire from the race just now. As Steven finally does pit from the race lead. And this is where it's going to get interesting, viewers. As Steven does pit, where will he come out? I think he might just come out right behind Ryan, or maybe just ahead of that Ferrari. Ryan also pits, so Steven's going to come out, I think, right behind TCR Jones, or maybe just ahead. It's so difficult to know, as I think it's going to be really close between Steven and TCR Jones. Steven gets ahead, and that is good. So he's actually going to have to overtake QVR Packer. This is where the overtakes come into play here. But up at the front, Breezy is at 0.2 of a second to Snipper Pig. This is getting really interesting now. We're now on lap 17 of 28. Can Breezy get it past? Let's see. And basically what Snipper Pig is doing is he really is just letting Breezy use so much ERS. And but the thing is that Snipper Pig has got 73% ERS, so he can really play with this because Breezy's on 0. And yeah, this is actually getting really interesting between these two. But they have to start worrying about the drivers behind, particularly Steven on those soft compound tires. He's just a few seconds behind.
Things are just getting heated around here with about 11 laps to go in tonight's race in Golden Class. Again, just for those of you who have just joined, or as a quick reminder, this battle is pretty much the battle for the championship potentially, because right now it's QVR Packer leading the championship by 36 points over Snipper Pig, who's currently leading this Grand Prix. Snipper Pig is, QVR Packer is down in 6th place. So he's not going to get too many points out of tonight's race. So this could be the chance for Snipper Pig to close up the championship gap and possibly take it to the season finale in Mexico and see what he can do there. Bats Plus is now pitting onto some soft tires of his own. Steven is lining up a move on QVR Packer, and he has gotten ahead of QVR Packer. So for a moment there, QVR Packer gained a position over Bats Plus, but then he lost a position to Steven, and Steven is now up into P5. So again, very interesting things happening here. Steven is just gunning it on his brand new tires. He just put in a purple first sector there as well, and he's going to be on a massive charge right now towards the end of this race. But at the top, we've got a massive train. Well, just 3 cars, but I'm saying massive because the battling in this train is just unbelievable. Snipper Pig, Breezy, and Chargers in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd after making what I think will be their final pit stops in tonight's race. They are now on their on the last battle here tonight to try and take the win. It could be any one of them. It could still be just Jose as well. If anything happens towards the front, we could still have a safety car. Anything could still happen, honestly.
Yeah, it's going to be really interesting to see who comes out on top. I think, if I remember correctly, in the post-race interviews of Canada, Chargers really wanted to get a race victory. He knew that, I think he said that he was out of the Drivers' Championship, the chances for that, and I think all he wanted was a race victory. So it could come down to Chargers race, winning a race here today. That would be great to see. Snipper Pig as well. Could he win a race for Red Bull? Could X Breezy get onto the top step of the podium? Or could it be just Jose taking another race victory? I think it's his second. If he wins this race, it'd be his second race victory today. As, oh, McLaren in the middle of the track. You having a giggle right in the middle of the track there. Drivers have to go around that McLaren. I'm not sure if that's a solid car or if that's just a ghosted car, but I'm sure that's going to freak a lot of drivers out there. And hopefully there's no incident because of that. But yeah, very interesting race so far. And as Breezy actually was very close to Snipper Pig, and is still close to Snipper Pig, but yeah, very interesting up the front as well.
And just to mention something there, Nip Steven has just broken the TCR lap record around here once again. 2 nights in a row we have lap records. He's brought it down to a 132.0, so he's shaved off another 0.6 of a second off of that record. So congratulations to Steven. Even if he finishes where he is right now in 5th place, that is an amazing performance from the back of the grid. So great job from him. Now watching as we've got still a little bit of battling here between X Breezy and Chargers. A yellow flag in Sector 3 for the Yuppie who's out on the grass there on the exit of turn 10. Not sure exactly what happened to him, but he should be back on it now. Steven is now within the DRS zone of Just Jose. So Steven is on a huge charge.
Really is, yeah. Once he clears Just Jose, it's just those top 3. The goal is just waiting for him to make the move. And if you're one of the Red Bulls, and if you're actually the top 3, what would you do about Steven? Would you just continue as you're doing? Or would you possibly just use a lot of the ERS? Speaking of those 2 Red Bulls, they have a lot of ERS. I would think if I were the 2 Red Bulls, I'd use a lot of ERS to try and get past and get a gap, so you don't have to worry about Steven. And speaking of Steven, he's going to try and make a move into turn 11, round the outside of the McLaren. Is he going to make the overtake? I think he's just going to stick behind just to get the DRS. He does, but he's actually going to go side by side. Fresher tires, nothing Just Jose can do at this point. So Steven does get up into P4 for the Mercedes driver, but up at the front, Chargers is all over the back of Breezy, and Breezy is all over the back of Snipper Pig. This is insanely close. All 3 are separated by 4/10. We could have a 4-way battle for the race victory coming in very shortly.
I have no idea how these drivers are holding it together. I mean, this is just, the pressure is immense for those top 3 right now. They cannot make a single mistake. They cannot take a wheel wide. They can't lose the backhand. If anything happens, they might be losing a win here tonight, and all 3 of them are still very much in contention for a win around the USA COTA racing track. This could be absolutely incredible here. Don't go anywhere if you guys are watching. If you're just joining, you know, this is something. This is absolutely race here tonight, and again, this is still could be a decider in this championship. QVR Packers still in 6th place right now. Snipper Pig still leading the race, so that will be a bunch of really good points for Snipper Pig here tonight if he wants to. Oh, and the Chargers makes contact with the back of X Breezy's wheel, and he spun around. Oh my god, he comes back onto the track, and he takes out Just Jose. Both of them are out in Sector 2 on the exit of turn 9. Oh my goodness, unbelievable. Virtual safety car is out.
My goodness, what has just happened there? Absolutely insane scenes happening. I think they're going to be, those 2 teams are going to be fighting quite a bit. You can see both cars off the track there, and major contact all over the track. I wouldn't be surprised if there was a safety car, but alas, the virtual safety car has been called out. Chargers and Just Jose, those were huge positions in this race, and I think that's going to really hurt them quite a bit. Chargers and Joseph Hay out of the Grand Prix. Both McLarens out. Chargers out. They were battling. They were in the top 5. That's 2 top 5 contenders out of the Grand Prix. But oh my goodness, Blinn, can
oh my god, I just have to mention X Breezy. True penalty for speeding under the virtual safety car. He's coming into the pits right now to serve it. This is unbelievable. Again, this was caused by the virtual safety car, which was caused by that massive incident that we just saw between Chargers and Just Jose. This also brings us to a total of 6 cars that have DNF'd from this race. We now also have a little bit of contact there between Pruden, or Pruden maybe had a little bit of a moment. QVR Packer has decided to pit under that VSC. Oh, he had a drive-through as well. Oh my goodness. So this is just unbelievable. All of this happening in a span of just seconds there. And we are now back to green flag conditions. It's now Snipper Pig in first. It's now Steven in second place. And Jones is in third, in contention for possibly a podium finish here tonight. Go Jones.
You cannot have predicted that. What has just happened? Absolutely insane scenes as we have Bats Plus making a move on X Breezy. He's on fresh softs. The 2 Mercedes are going to be... I can't believe this has just happened here. You had last race in Canada, the 2 Red Bulls were at the front of the table, and then the 2 Mercedes came from the back of the grid, sort of. They had some issues, and then they came through to score more points than Red Bull. It's almost the exact thing that's happened here at USA as well. Bats Plus and Steven could be on for a podium, double podium here, but TCR Jones up in the podium at the moment. This is absolutely insane. You, like I said before, you cannot have predicted that. This race just got from exciting to superb exciting. Absolutely insane scenes going on here, and even more things that's going on is that, or even more action going on, is that Steven has closed the gap to Snipper Pig by 1.9 seconds. The Mercedes driver is now all over the back. Steven could be going for another victory here at USA, and for season 11, he could, right now, he looks to be the only driver in both silver and golden to have won the USA season 11 Grand Prix. So absolutely insane this is going on right now. Steven is going for another victory from outside the top 10. Of course, he won silver class from that same position, and now he looks to do the exact same strategy that he did in silver class.
Yeah, this is unbelievable. Honestly, Snipper Pig is now under a lot of pressure. 5 laps to go. He needs to hold off Steven from behind him. He's about 1.4 seconds behind. Bats Plus, his teammate, up into third place, just overtook Jones there. So that's a double podium as it stands at the moment for Mercedes. What that also means is that Mercedes are going to really take the fight for the Constructors' Championship into the Mexico Grand Prix. They're actually going to be in the lead in that championship going into the Mexico Grand Prix, into the season finale. So that one is for sure going to be moving on. Other than that, Snipper Pig, if he can hold on to the win here tonight, he will have just enough points to take the Drivers' Championship all the way down to Mexico as well. But if QVR Packer makes up just a couple more positions, that might be ruined. So everything is up for play right now. 4 laps to go. As I mentioned, don't go anywhere because we need to see how this one is going to end. Steven is now within almost a second of Snipper Pig on those brand new 6-lap-old soft tires. Bats Plus also on the soft tires, so both of the Mercedes playing the strategy and making it work for them absolutely incredibly. Steven started in P12, is currently in second place. Even if he doesn't win this race, that's definitely a driver of the day. And then we've got QVR Packer, of course, started right at the back of the grid, now currently running in P6. It's a really great performance, but he had a chance here tonight to possibly clinch this Season 11 Golden Glass Championship. That's not looking to happen just yet, but that means more excitement for us in the season finale in Mexico next week. You definitely don't want to miss that one, and if you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, after all this action you saw tonight, you definitely should right now. Leave us a like, send in some more comments as well, share it with your friends, and make sure you stay up to date on all of the action that goes on here in Trinity Competitive Racing. So, Steven now within half a second of Snipper Pig. We have somebody that's crashed out. I think that's the Yuppie possibly had a moment there. And yeah, that is the Yuppie there who's being overtaken now by Steven and Snipperpig, but the gap has come down to just 0.3 of a second. Steven is gonna have DRS on Snipperpig on the start-finish straight into the run on turn 1. Is he gonna have enough? He's not gonna make the move just yet. He's gonna hang on probably to the back straight, and then he's gonna go for that one.
And Snipperpig has got 94% ERS. I would say he wants to use that to stay ahead of Steven right now. I would probably start using all of that on the straights. Like, I mean, Steven's got 20%. It's almost exact same situation with Breezy, but you gotta remember, Steven is on fresher tires at the moment, so that could put into play as well. By the way, as well as Bats Plus, he's had an amazing recovery. He had contact at the beginning of the Grand Prix. He went down some positions, out of the points for a little bit as well, and now he's back out into the podium. Great to see Bats Plus back up there. And as you mentioned before, QVR Packer P6 looks like the championship will go down to Mexico, and that will just be absolutely incredible. Right now, Steven is a little further back from Snipperpig. Snipperpig used a little bit of ERS to gain ahead. All Snipperpig has to do is use all that ERS on the straights. Just click that ERS button and just let it run to the end of the to the end of the straight and into that corner of turn 12 or turn 1. That's basically all he needs to do, because Steven, I don't think he has enough ERS to make the move unless he's going to try something else in the corners or something like that, but you never know what can happen. We're now on to lap 25 at the end of it now, because lap 26 is just about to begin. 3 laps are remaining. Is Steven going to make the overtake on Snipperpig? Let's see.
And I just want to mention as well, I just did some back of the page maths here just to confirm what the standings would look like. So, if Snipperpig wins this race, he is still within contention of taking it to the season finale in Mexico. But if he finishes second, there's going to be a 30-point gap going into Mexico, which is not enough points there for Snipperpig to do anything. So that will mean that QVR Packer will be the champion. But QVR Packer needs to keep P6. If he drops a position, that will not happen. But the crucial thing here is Snipperpig holding on to the win of the race. So, oh my goodness, I really don't know how this is gonna end, but I cannot wait. Snipperpig really needs to hold on to this one if he doesn't want to lose the championship. But Steven is just so quick on those soft tires, on a different strategy. Oh, and there he goes, side by side now. Snipperpig defending the inside line. They're going to be still side by side going into the next right-hander, and Steven's going to jump down the inside. There's going to be a little bit of contact there, a little bit of wheel banging, but Snipperpig still holding to the inside, still holding position, and managing to still recover. They're still side by side. Oh! Steven had a little bit of a moment, lost the back end of the car there, a little bit eager on the throttle, and he's now outside of a 1-second gap to Snipperpig. This could be it, but he's still got a couple of laps to go here. Oh my goodness, I cannot take my eyes off of this. I don't know how this is gonna end.
My hands are literally shaking right now. This is coming down to the wire. What happened there is that Steven hit the curb coming down into that heavy braking zone, and that caused him to, maybe when he was shifting up, he just lost the car. I think that's what exactly happened. He went for the switchback, went a little too much off the track there. That's why he hit that curb, that really big curb at that turn, and that's why that was that. This is good for Snipperpig though, but what Snipperpig has to do is he has to use the ERS. He just has to use, you gotta put it on the ERS. That's exactly what he's doing. But all he has to do is just keep that up. All he has to do is keep that up, and he's got the race victory. But Steven is absolutely flying right now on these soft compound tires. All Steven has to do is just keep catching Snipperpig, and he's actually doing that. This is coming down to the final lap of the race. Viewers, you're in for one treat here today at Golden Class. This is going to be one fight to remember. The championship goes down to the final lap of the USA Grand Prix. Will Snipperpig hold on to the race victory, and will this championship fight go down to Mexico, or will he lose first, finish second, and QVR Packer will be the victory going to him for Golden Class champion this season. So we'll find out on the final lap of the Grand Prix and see who ends up in P1.
Oh wow, this is the closest I can get. Oh, and X-Breezy and Jones making contact, and X-Breezy was really trying to recover position. Steven, a 3-second penalty. That is it. That is it. Steven will not be able to make up that much time on the last lap as they start the lap now. Snipperpig pretty much holding on to the best position he can right now to make sure that he takes this to the next lap and to the season finale, to the next race, to the last race of the season. Now, it's still not going to be easy for Snipperpig. He's still going to be 23 points behind QVR Packer. So he's going to have to absolutely win that race, and he's going to have to hope that QVR Packer finishes, below P8 or so he can actually win that championship. But still, wouldn't we love to see that action in Mexico? And as it looks right now, Snipperpig 2.93 seconds now, 3.4 seconds ahead of Steven. Steven has really slowed down now. He's really not pushing anymore. He's actually letting some lapped cars get through of Bam Bam and Yuppie. So he knows it's over for him, but he's going to be very happy with second place. He absolutely has to be happy with that. Starting from P12 into P2, that is a brilliant, brilliant performance. But Snipperpig, he's done everything he needs to. He's only got a few more corners to go, and he will be able to hold on to a very, very slim difference in points that will take it to the season finale of Golden Class to fight for the championship, for the Drivers' Championship there between himself and QVR Packer. But what an amazing drive. What a crazy race we've had. Snipperpig coming into the last corner now. He's going to cross the line, and he will take the win here in the USA Grand Prix at the Circuit of the Americas for round 11 of season 11 of Golden Class, and he will extend this championship into the season finale at Mexico. Steven, starting from P12 into P2, brilliant performance, and also doing an incredible job between himself and Bats Plus in the Mercedes to put up a bunch of points on the board and to get a little bit of a gap on the Red Bulls. That will also be another championship for the constructors here that will be taken all the way down to Mexico to the season finale. X Breezy, who started on pole, is going to be in P4. Jones in P5. Great performance from Jones. Good amount of points for him there. QVR Packer in 6th. Ryan in 7th. Be Good in 8th. Bam Bam in 9th. The Yuppie in 10th. And Prudent was 11th on the grid. We had a total of 6 DNFs here tonight. Chargers, Just Jose, You Having a Giggle, Drizmic, Goldorator, and Same TJ did not make it to the end. But it's this man right here, Snipperpig 007, bringing in the drive that he needed here tonight to not give up the Drivers' Championship to QVR Packer, who gets Driver of the Day starting from the back of the grid, recovering to P6. But for me personally, Nip Steven would absolutely have to be Driver of the Day here tonight.
Yeah, what an incredible race that was. Absolutely insane scenes we have just seen here today. Cannot believe everything that has happened. We just had an incredible race here today at Golden Class. But yeah, Snipperpig, your race winner for Golden Class. Second place goes to Nip Stevens from 12th on the grid. Possibly could have had first if it wasn't for that little mistake into that heavy braking zone and that 3-second time penalty. And then, of course, Bats Plus. What an amazing job he did to recover from that. He also got fastest lap, a 1:31.7. If I'm not mistaken, that's the lap record as well for TCR. So
almost by another second. Almost by another second. That is just absolutely unbelievable.
He really put in the times there. And as well as getting fastest lap, that makes the Mercedes. They get more points than Red Bull, even though Snipperpig did come home for the podium. So, or for the win, of course. So very interesting to see how that worked out. But yeah, what an amazing race. And cannot believe that it goes on to Mexico. The championship goes on to Mexico. We will see an absolutely amazing race in Mexico, I gotta say, as well as it was in USA. I'm so glad the championship fight goes down to Mexico because, oh my goodness, what a race that was at Golden Class for USA. Can't wait to see what happens at the finale.
Yeah, and let's talk to our drivers here. We're going to get them into the party in just a moment. It's going to be Snipperpig, Steven, and Bats Plus on first, second, and third place. And we're going to get their impressions with this race. I am really excited to talk, especially to Snipperpig, and get his opinions on what he can do in Mexico. I mean, right now, by my calculations, there's going to be a 23-point gap. We have some comments coming in the chat saying there's going to be a 19-point gap. So I'm not sure. I mean, I was never good at math, so I'm not gonna rely on myself just yet. But from my calculations here, just looking at the points, it would be a 23-point gap. And then, so that pretty much means that Silverpig needs to win in Mexico, and QPR Packer needs to not score more than a couple of points there. So that's going to be super, super tight between those drivers. But give us a few moments here as we're trying to invite them into the party, and we'll be talking to them in just a moment. But this gives us another chance to mention our affiliate sponsor, Fanatec, and their great support of the league. You guys can also provide a little bit of support by checking out their link in the description. If you go in through their link and you end up buying any equipment, you will be supporting both ourselves and Fanatec, and obviously you'll be getting yourself some really great racing equipment for your sim rig. Other than that, we also have our own TCR shop with our own TCR merchandise. Right now, it's only stickers, but those stickers are super cool. They're only a few bucks, and they will be a huge support to the league as well. So, yeah, other than that, there's also a link to our website if you guys want to race with the likes of, Slipper Pig and Bats Plus and all of the rest of these amazing drivers here tonight in Golden Class, or maybe you want to qualify for our Platinum Class that will be on tomorrow at 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Those guys use no assist whatsoever, no racing line, no traction control, no ABS, nothing else. It's just yourself and your controller or your wheel and what you can do and your practice being put on track. So yeah, if you guys want to check all of that stuff out, definitely do so. I did see that we had Snipperpig joining us into the lobby in his Red Bull with the win here tonight. Amazing performance. We've mentioned it many times already on the stream, that you had to win here tonight. You had to hold on to the win position, otherwise it would have been game over for the championship. But you managed to do everything you needed to. Steven was putting some serious pressure on you at the end there, so tell us a little bit about the race, and especially towards the end. How was that?
I'll be honest, I didn't even know what I needed to do for the championship. So I just kind of showed up and hoped for the best. But yeah, it was a little stressful holding off that guy on the softs. I knew I had a little bit more button than him since he was pushing pretty hard, so I felt pretty confident. But there was one lap where he got pretty close, and it was a little bit nerve-wracking.
And how were your tires doing? Because you were on the mediums. You've been doing the mediums for about 14 or 15 laps by the time that Steven started catching up to you. Did you feel the pressure, or were you sort of, set on taking the win here tonight?
Yeah, I mean, tires definitely weren't great, but they weren't really that bad. I know I got the yellow tire warning towards the end of the race, but yeah, I mean, I saw that Steven was on the soft tires. I knew he'd catch me eventually, so the plan was to save as much button as I could and hopefully hold him off that way.
And now, of course, the most crucial question is basically yourself and QVR Packer. With this win of yours tonight, by my calculations here, you're going to be 23 points behind them. We do have some information coming in the chat that it might be 19 points, so don't quote me on either one of those. But either way, that is a very, very fine margin for yourself to leave it to the season finale there. How are you feeling about Mexico? How are you feeling about those margins?
Well, I've always kind of hated Mexico, so that's kind of a shame that that's the
so
the
that's a
season
good
end,
start.
in my opinion. But yeah, yeah, I mean, 19 points is a pretty big gap. It would take at least, I would assume, a DNF from Packer, which I don't really see happening. So I wouldn't say my hopes are high, but I'll show up, do my best, and see what happens.
All right, Broomhandle, did you have any questions for our winner here tonight?
Oh yeah, definitely. First of all, man, I want to say congrats on that race victory. That was so close between you and Steven there. I want to say, you did a great job there to take home the victory, and you keep the championship fight going on to Mexico. So really looking forward to seeing you battle it out with QVR Packer for the championship. I first want to ask you, just basically, I think Blinn kind of covered mostly everything, but I wanted to ask you about that, the defense that you were pulling on X Breezy for the win, of course. You were defending quite a bit there, and Breezy was kind of catching up. You were saving a lot of ERS as well. Was that kind of your strategy, is to save a lot of ERS and then kind of go for, like, did you know that Steven was going to try and catch up at the end? Is that why you were saving a lot of ERS? And yeah, could you talk me through that?
Yeah, I mean, I figured the only real overtaking spots are down the 2 straights, so if I had enough ERS to defend those, or at least, you know, have a chance at defending those, I'd have a pretty good chance of, you know, finishing first. But, yeah, Breezy and I fought pretty hard. Yeah, I was trying to use as little button as possible and still, you know, get away with the position, so it got tight sometimes, but yeah, I'm pretty happy with my strategy and how I went through the race.
All right, awesome. Well, congratulations again on the win here tonight, Snipper Pig. Good luck in Mexico, and we'll see you there.
All right, thank you.
All righty, let's move over to the 2 Mercedeses here tonight. So first of all, we have Nip Steven in second place. Nip Steven started in P12, recovered to the podium there, and was very, very close to the win. You know, very hard to overtake Sniper Pig at the end there. But, you know, you won last night in Silver Class. You got P2 tonight in Golden Class. Are you going to be reserving in Platinum tomorrow and get P3?
No. For right now, I don't think I will reserve for Platinum, since I don't know how to drive without the racing line yet. But maybe next season.
All right, and tell us a little bit more about the race here tonight. I mean, you made this strategy work once again, just like you did last night in Silver Class, made up a bunch of positions right at the start of the race, and then from there on, just slowly but surely, you were recovering quite a bit. Right towards the end, though, it just felt like, was it just you losing the back end, or did you make any contact with Snipper Pig trying to overtake?
No. My heart was racing. My finger slid. So I kind of spun a little bit. Then I was trying to push. I pushed way too much. I got a penalty. So I decided to buck up, let the cars behind me pass me, since they were going faster than me, and just bring the points home.
All right, Broomhandle, your questions for Nip Steven.
Yeah, first of all, Steven, that was really incredible what you did. Absolutely incredible. You almost repeated exactly what you did in Silver Class, so congrats on that second place and another podium for you in TCR. I want to just ask you about that strategy that you did. Now, of course, it looked like you kind of learned from that Silver Class race with yesterday that we did. And was that always your focus at the start of the Grand Prix for Golden Class? Were you always going to go for that medium to soft strategy? And how did you kind of like manage the mediums? And also, then my question goes also to the Silver Class race. How did you manage those tires to keep up with the rest of the field throughout both classes?
So I just thought that I made my homework. I saw that the soft tires will be much faster in pace than the medium tires at the end of the stint. So I decided to, for my qualifying lap, just to back up a little bit, don't push as hard as I normally would. Try to be as close as possible to the P11 so I can change my tires, get the medium tires, and from there just try to get a good start, no contact, try to not get involved in any type of accident in the first turn, the first lap, and that's how it worked.
Awesome. Well, congrats again on P2. Amazing drive. You got driver of the day by the game there, and definitely well deserved. So congrats again, and good luck for the season finale.
Thank you.
And now moving over to the other Mercedes teammate of Bats Plus with P3 here tonight. Definitely a great performance. Another one that we were watching. You had a lot of battles through the race. You were right up there with the lead pack pretty much for the whole race as well. And most importantly, yourself and Steven there bringing some really good points over to Mercedes, giving yourselves another chance at the Constructors' Championship. So with all of those things considered, heading into Mexico, how you feeling about it?
I don't know. I guess we'll see. I haven't done Mexico in a while. So, well, maybe I'll get a better idea on Tuesday.
And how was the race here tonight? Did you enjoy it? Was it a tough one? What really, drove you here tonight?
Yeah, it was a good race. I should have had pole. Someone drove across the track in front of me on my last lap in the S's for some reason, and it messed up my whole lap. So it started there. I got a really good start, and I went up the second into the first turn, and I think it was Snipper pass me. It was Snipper or Chargers, and I got damage on like the 6th lap because he braked way earlier than I thought he would, and I ran into the back of him in Sector 2, so I had to go the rest of the lap with damage, and I had to pit. So I lost about 10 seconds or more because of that, and then I had to end up 2-stopping, which I didn't want to do because it's slow. And basically I just had to get by some people throughout the race and kind of just went as fast as I could and ended up like 9 seconds off the lead, which is pretty good. I think I could have fought for the win, but too much stuff happened.
Yeah, and now going into Mexico, Mercedes and Red Bull, you guys are going to be quite close. There's only going to be a couple of points difference in Mexico when you guys end up there. How are you feeling about Mexico as a racetrack in general? And do you think you guys can still take this drivers' champion or the constructors' championship?
It's probably one of my least favorite tracks because I don't know how to drive it that well, but depends if I can make a decent enough setup for it, and then if I can, I'll be alright.
All right.
We'll see what happens next week.
Broomhandle, any questions for Bats Plus?
Well, first of all, I want to say congrats, Bats, on that amazing podium. You did a kind of a recovery drive there from that little contact you had with one of the Rebels, if I'm not mistaken, earlier on, and you were able to come back from that with that 2-stop strategy. I think Blinn mostly asked all the questions, but I wanted to say congrats on that. Good luck to you for the Mercedes battle with Red Bull. Hope you guys get the chance to possibly get that Constructors' Championship against Snipper and Chargers. But I had a question in my mind and I forgot it. What was your kind of recovery after? Can you maybe talk me through your recovery to 3rd place? I mean, because you pit and were further down. At that point when you did pit, did you know you were going to probably go soft, medium, soft, and do you think you were going to recover to 3rd place?
I knew I was going to lose a ton of time to the front guys, so I wasn't really expecting to catch up to them. I figured, if I could get into the top 5, that would be great. But I didn't really expect that either, because there are still some other, a bunch of other fast people who would be hard to catch. So luckily, when I came out of the pits both times, I didn't have any traffic, so I didn't get blocked by any slower cars. And basically, just figured I'll put the mediums on first and see in case there's a safety car at some point, and you get 2 extra sets when the lobby restarts. So there's no point in not using it first, and then go for the fastest lap on the last set, which I ended up getting. So that was my objective. 2 guys got drive-throughs, which helped a lot. I think Breezy and Packer got drive-throughs, and then 2 other guys crashed, who I saw before the cars disappeared. So I mean, those are 4 spots that I might not have had. So I may have ended up in 7th if those didn't happen.
Well, congrats again on P3 here tonight, and that fastest lap is actually a new TCR lap record by almost a second overall here tonight, so congrats on that as well. That will stand at least for another season until we get to USA once again. But yeah, yourself and your teammate, good luck to both of you in the season finale with the Constructors' Championship.
All right, thanks.
All right, Broom. Well, I mean, I'm not even sure how to summarize that race. That was incredible. So tell me a little bit of what you think about that one.
Oh, I gotta say, I think that was probably one of the best TCR races I've commentated on. That was so entertaining. I cannot believe what we just witnessed there. There was so much action on track, there was so much strategy coming into play, and there was so much recovery driving from some of these drivers. It was just, what a race. And to think that the championship goes on to Mexico. I cannot believe that's happening, and it could go down to either one of QVR Packer or Snipper Pig winning out. It's going to be one season finale to remember for Golden Class, and I can't wait to do it. I can't wait to watch it, like it's going to be absolutely incredible. But I gotta say, Blinn, thank you so much for having me. Thank you to TCR for having me commentate once again. It's a privilege, as always, to commentate on this league and for Golden Class and all the other tiers as well, and can't wait to do it in the future.
It's always a pleasure having you along, Broomhandle. We will see you hopefully very soon in the booth here again in TCR. But as you mentioned there, we've got one more race to go in this Golden Class. The championships, both the drivers and the constructors, are still up for grabs there between Red Bull and Mercedes, between QVR Packer and Snipper Pig for the Drivers' Championship. You guys do not want to miss that. But you also do not want to miss tomorrow's race here. It's going to be the Platinum class at 8:15 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's going to be Seafreeze commentating on that one once again. I'm not sure who's going to be in the booth with him, but you definitely want to join him for that. I know our viewers really love to hear from Seafreeze and his commentary. He likes to spice it up there. So definitely check us out. Subscribe to the channel. Leave us a like. Share it with your friends. Put some more comments on the video. We love reading and hearing from you guys. And thank you guys so much for watching another race here in Trinity Competitive Racing. This was round 11. Only one more round to go in this class as well as Silver class, but the Platinum class still has a race tomorrow and then another one next week in Mexico. Tonight was definitely a Grand Prix to remember. Congrats again to Snipper Pig and to the two Mercedes for finishing on the podium. But from myself, from Blinn Machine, from Broomhandle, who was joining us tonight, and also from everybody in TCR, thank you guys so much for watching. Join us soon again, and have a great night.